Donald Trump, as we said, sat down at the opening of his Trump Hotel in Washington yesterday in the home stretch of this campaign. He was energized, upbeat, and as you'll see, in no mood to apologize to his critics or his accusers. I did the first interview of this campaign on the first day Trump
You
Tower.
did.
We did.
That's
We're
right.
here in a Trump hotel today.
Right.
But what do you say to supporters of yours who think you shouldn't be taking time off the campaign trail from the battleground states?
Well, I think it's so unfair because, you know, Hillary Clinton goes to see an Adele concert last night, and everybody says, oh, wasn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? I have stopped. I did 8 stops yesterday. I built one of the great hotels of the world. What am I supposed to do, not show up? I'm taking 1 hour off. I built this hotel under budget and ahead of schedule. Now, that's why I'm doing this.
You've talked a lot about the fact that you think this election could be rigged. I want to go back to 2012. You sent out a tweet.
I think the system is rigged.
Election night 2012. This election is a total sham and a travesty. We are not a democracy. How was the 2012 election
Because
rigged?
I look at the way the media treats the Republicans and conservatives, and I see the way it's so skewed.
But you called the whole election a sham and a travesty.
Oh, well, I think it was horrible the way they were treated in the media. The only thing worse is the way I'm being treated. Look, I'm being treated. Hey, it's record-setting bad treatment what I'm getting. It's the greatest pile-on in American history. I go to these rallies and they're starting to hate the media because they see it's all a big lie. And not all, but a lot of it's a big lie. Now, at the same time, you have some wonderful...
like $1 billion in free media during the primaries.
Well, I don't know if you call it $1 billion in free when it's bad. What should really be, they should be talking about WikiLeaks and the horrible things that have come out about Hillary Clinton, the horrible things.
Let's stick on this election idea.
And George, she's so guilty. She deleted 33,000 emails. They're missing boxes of emails. She's so guilty. How can she even run? But there's such anger in this country over what she got away with.
The FBI director appointed by Republicans said no reasonable
prosecutor would bring such a case.
He made a mistake, okay, or whatever. I don't even call it a mistake. I think something happened. Look, something happened. You go into the well, I think somebody talked to him. I think, hey, look, how can President Clinton, when the Attorney General says something going on, George, she's so guilty. Congress sends a subpoena. She deletes all of her emails, okay? She deletes them.
If she wins, I know you think you're going to win, but if she wins, if she gets the kind of win that President Obama got, more than 300 electoral votes, several million in the popular vote, will you accept that as a clear result?
I'll make that decision at the right time. I mean, don't worry about it. I'll make the decision at the right time. But we have a rigged system. Look at what's coming out with WikiLeaks. Look at what they're saying, where Podesta says that Hillary Clinton, running for president, has bad instincts. Bernie Sanders says she's got bad judgment. So if Podesta says bad instincts, Sanders says bad judgment, why are people even thinking about voting?
All 17 U.S. intelligence agencies believe the Russians are behind that leak. Why don't you believe it?
I don't know if they're behind it, and I think it's public relations, frankly. You know what does bother me? I have nothing to do with
But you were even told that by the Republican head of the Homeland Security, Mike McCall. He said the same thing.
I don't know what he said.
He told you that he thought the Russians were behind it.
Hacking is very interesting. Hacking is very hard to determine who did what, okay? You know that. People are hacking all over the place. Nobody knows. They don't know if it's Russia. They can't guarantee it's Russia, and it may be.
Let's talk about Mosul. On Sunday, you sent out a tweet saying that the operation was a total disaster. The defense secretary is on the ground. He says they're making progress. He's encouraged by the progress. The former dean of the Army War College says this shows that Trump doesn't know a damn thing about military strategy.
The Army War College, let me tell you, the element of surprise. I've been hearing about Mosul now for 3 months. We're going to attack, meaning Iraq's going to attack, but with us, okay? We're going to attack. Why do they have to talk about it? Don't talk about it. Element of surprise. One of the reasons they wanted Mosul, they wanted to get the ISIS leaders who they thought were in Mosul. Those people have all left. As soon as they heard they're going to be attacked, they left. The resistance
is... The defense says 35 of them have been taken out.
Excuse me. The resistance is much greater now because they knew about the attack. Why can't they win first and talk later? Why do they have to say 3 months before the attack, we're going in? So you can tell your military expert that I'll sit down and I'll teach him a couple of things.
On Saturday, you said that you would threaten to sue the 11 women who've accused you of sexual assault.
You know, I hate that you waste time when we're talking about ISIS and we're talking about jobs and you're still bringing that up. Everybody wants to bring it up. Look,
that was just Saturday.
These were false attacks. These things never happened. These people, I don't know these people. These things never, ever happened. This was out of the blue. It was made up, probably by the Clinton campaign.
Do you have any evidence of that?
Well, many of the stories have already been debunked. Many of the stories have already been debunked. As you
The
know.
People magazine story, they brought forward 6 witnesses.
Why didn't she
to
write the
corroborate
story 12 years ago?
She said she was afraid.
Oh, she was afraid. Give me a break. She was afraid to write it. She would have gotten the Pulitzer Prize. Give me a break.
So all these women,
why didn't
everyone they
record
talked
it?
to are lying?
They made up stories. You know why? Fame, or they wanted to help Clinton, or something. They made up
They
stories.
came out after you denied the behavior.
George, let's not waste any more time. These stories were fabricated. They're total lies.
So you're going to go through with the lawsuit?
We'll find out. Let's see what happens with the election. We're going to find out.
When you look back over the sweep of this campaign, going back to last June, is there anything you regret?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to have done certain things over, but you can't. You can't. But that's true in life. I'd love to have done in life certain things over, I guess. And you would have too.
Give me one.
You would have loved not to have contributed to the Clinton Foundation, as an example. There are things that you wish you didn't do, okay? There are things I would have rather, not happened. But George, all you can do is you put your head down and you have to go forward.
Do you think you should have apologized to the Kahns or Judge Curiel?
I have great respect for the Kahn family. I have great respect for, the son is a great hero. But if I were president at that time, Captain Kahn would be alive today, George, because I wouldn't have been in Iraq. So if I were president, Captain Kahn's son would be...
You did support it initially.
Support
the invasion.
I never support... Look, let's get it straight. I was opposed to the war in Iraq. I was opposed to the war in Iraq. And for the most part, the honest people agree with it.
But
right from the beginning,
the Howard Stern statement is pretty clear.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
Way before the war started, and that was the first time I was ever even asked about Iraq, and I gave a very, I don't know, who knows. Had I been president, Captain Kahn would be alive today. We wouldn't have been in this horrible, horrible mistake, the war in Iraq.
Final question. I heard backstage, Colonel Dolan said that you said Hillary Clinton was a tough and talented lady. She said, if I win, we have to work together. I know you think you're going to win. If she wins, are you prepared to work with her?
I just want to make that decision at a later date. I'm not saying I'm not or I am. Hopefully I won't have to make that decision. I really believe we're going to win.